Dear students, in this lecture, we will prove or obtain the equivalent definition for complete orthonormal set. So the topic is complete equivalent definition, equivalent definitions of equivalent definitions of complete orthonormal set of complete orthonormal set. These are going to be useful for proving further properties. In the last lecture, we have defined what is complete orthonormal set. So what is complete orthonormal set? It is maximal orthonormal set. That is, there is no proper superset of that set which is orthonormal in Hilbert space H. So let us see which are these equivalent definitions. Let EI be an orthonormal set. Let EI be an orthonormal set in Hilbert space H. In Hilbert space H. Then the following statements are equivalent to one another. It means that if any one of these statements is true, then all other statements will be true. So the first statement is EI is complete, that is, it is orthonormal basis, it is maximal orthonormal set. Second statement is that if X is orthogonal to this set EI, if X is orthogonal to the set EI, then X must be equal to 0. Third statement, X is equal to some XEI for all X belongs to H. So X can be expressed in this way as a linear combination, XEI for all X belongs to H. And finally, norm X square is equal to summation mod inner product of XEI square for all X belongs to H. For all X belongs to H. So proof, we have to prove that these statements are equivalent. Means if any one of them is true, then all of them will be true. Or if any one of them is false, then none of the statements will hold. That is, all of them will also be false. So these are equivalent. So we are going to prove, the outline is like this. We are going to prove first implies second, second implies third, third implies fourth, and then we will prove fourth implies first. So in this way we are going to prove. So proof, first implies second, first implies second. This is what we are going to prove. So we have to prove this. If this is true, then x is equal to 0. So our hypothesis is this first, that you note, and we have to prove this. So let x be orthogonal to AI. Suppose on contrary that x is not equal to 0. We have to prove that x is 0, and on contrary we are assuming that x is not equal to 0. Take E is equal to x upon norm x. Then it is clear that norm of E is equal to norm of x upon norm of x, that equals to 1. Also, as x is orthogonal to this set EI, E is going to be orthogonal to this set EI. E is orthogonal to EI. So, EI is further E does not belong to the set EI, for if E belongs to the set EI, then if E belongs to EI, then we will have the fact that E is orthogonal to itself, because E is orthogonal to this set. So this fact will imply that E is orthogonal to E, implying that norm or E is equal to inner product of E and E, that is equal to 0, but this is not possible because norm of E is 1, which is not possible, as we have seen here, norm E is equal to 1, as norm of E is equal to 1. Thus, if you take into account all these facts, E is orthogonal to EI, its norm is 1, it does not belong to the set EI. So, if you take into account these three facts, first, second and say third, this fact, then we have the set EI, E is orthonormal set in H, properly containing EI. This contradicts the hypothesis, because what is the hypothesis? That EI is complete. This contradicts the hypothesis that EI is complete. Hence, our assumption was wrong. Hence, x must be equal to 0. So, this is what we wish to prove in the proof first implies second. Now let us prove second implies third. So to prove second implies third, we are going to use the result which we have proved in the second last lecture. So we have proved that, first of all, note that this is our hypothesis and this is what we have to prove. Okay. So by known result, the vector x minus summation x ei is orthogonal to ej for every j. Hence, we can say that x minus summation x ei is orthogonal to the set ei, this set ei. So by hypothesis, if some vector is orthogonal to this, then that vector must be 0. So that x will be 0. Here in this case, x means this fact. So by hypothesis, this is 0, that is x minus summation x ei is equal to 0, that is x is equal to the sum x ei. So this proves our conclusion, third statement. We are done with proofs of two conditional statements. First implies second and second implies third. Now let us prove the statement third implies 4. Third implies 4. So that we are going to prove. The conditional statement third implies 4. So this is what we are going to prove. Consider, we have to prove this. Assuming this, we are going to prove this. So consider norm of x square. We have to prove that this equals to this summation. So norm of x square can be written as inner product of x and x, and that can be written as sum of x ei sum x ei. So by using properties of inner product, this can be simplified as summation conjugate of x ei. This I am going to write it purposely as ej to avoid confusion. So this is inner product of x ej and x ej. So x ej, I will write it here. Then this is x ei, and further inner product of ei and ej. So this is an orthonormal set, and we know that these are pairwise orthogonal. So ei ej, inner product of ei and ej, will be 0 if j is not equal to I. So all terms in this summation are going to be 0 except when j equals to I. So we have the simplification, this equals to inner product of x ei conjugate x ei, inner product of ei and ei. Since inner product of ei and ej is 0 if j is not equal to I. So this is going to be equal to this is going to be equal to what? These are conjugates of each other. So that is going to be equal to mod x ei square, because we know z into z conjugate always equals to mod z square. Z is complex number. So inner product is always complex number. And this is going to be equal to norm of ei square, and that equals to 1 because it is orthonormal set. So this is nothing but mod x ei square. So thus we proved that norm x square equals to I made a mistake here and I should have written it in this fashion. Yes, that is going to be correct, because I and j runs over all possible indices of the set. So that's why this is true. So this is equal to summation mod x ei square. And this is what we wanted to prove. So all these terms will be 0 except when j is equal to I. And that's why it gets simplified. Finally, we will prove that fourth implies first. So what is the fourth statement? The fourth statement is this, which we have proved just now. Norm of x square equals to summation mod x ei square. And what is first statement? The first statement is that ei is complete. This is complete orthonormal set. So ei is complete orthonormal set. That is, it is basis. This is what we have to prove. Fourth implies first. Suppose on contrary that ei is not complete, then there is a non-zero vector, E in H such that E does not belong to the set ei and E is orthogonal to ei. That is, ei is orthonormal set. Is orthonormal. Now use the hypothesis. This hypothesis you can use. So by hypothesis, we can find that norm of E square equals to summation mod x ei square, that is, in this case x is E, but since each E is orthogonal to ei, we have this to be equal to 0, and this is orthonormal set. So norm of E must be equal to 1, and this is a contradiction. Hence our assumption was wrong, that is, ei must be complete. I could modify the proof like this: E is orthogonal to ei and norm of ei norm of EI is equal to 1. That is, EI is orthonormal set. So better let me modify the things here. Okay. EI and norm of EI is equal. This is contradiction to this fact. Hence our assumption was wrong. That is, hence EI must be complete. So this completes the proof of last conditional statement. Thank you.